It's really powerful to work with your shadow because our shadow is a main compass in understanding what our gifts are, a main compass into understanding why we're here. Hello, Eyes and Wild Souls. My name is Brianna Jolie and welcome to my channel. I help reconnect souls with their wild self so they can live free and untamed by working with animal medicine as well as Miss Mama Gaia. So if you like all things animals, spirit, and nature, you've come to the right place. Today we are talking about shadow work, and because I am a wild animal priestess, I will be infusing some animal medicine into this video as well. So first, I wanted to just address this question of what shadow work is. And it's a main core element of the medicine that I share with clients one-on-one and in readings, and why I think it's really important to consistently talk about, because through this journey, and you've heard me mention this before if you've been here a while, we're on a constant journey of healing. The goal is not to be healed and to be done with it, but to build our magical tool belt of gifts and past life knowings and connections with spirit, so that we build up this tool belt so that we can use these tools to reaffirm our wild self and to continue healing. Because as life is a little bit unexpected, life is a little bit wild, as wild souls, we are being equipped and prepared to face those more challenging times as they arise, to stand firm and take back your power. One of the best ways to do this is to work with your shadow as an ally and not an enemy, or just to completely bypass it as well. So we have your higher self, which I like to replace this word with your more wild self, the most authentic version of your soul, the part of your soul that is guiding you purely with love to your next path destination along your journey. So in contrast, because this is a life of polarity, in contrast to your higher and wild self, we have your shadow self, the version of you that is trying to keep you a little bit more tame and safe and reacts to triggers a little bit more intensely, reacts instead of responds to triggers and traumas more intensely than as your wild self would, because they truly have the tools to be able to affirm back into yourself, to affirm back into your power, whereas the shadow is used to giving its power away to things, to relationships, to people, to experiences, and allowing to take from you. But the shadow is a great teacher because it shows us where we can work closer with our higher self, although they are sort of opposites in this example, but they also come together. So your shadow can show up in many ways. It can show up in the form of anxiety. It can show up in the form of fear, a really common one. It can show up in the form of not feeling worthy, or it can show up in the sense of feeling small and weak and powerless. I like to take a look at the shadow first for what it is sharing with me. What kind of emotion or feeling is the shadow trying to express? And to first witness that as a tool that is showing me how my wild self can come in and use this tool belt that I've been building, and I help teach others to build in themselves as well. So the shadow typically, so the next part of working with the shadow is then addressing where that initial root fear or emotion is coming from. It could come from the ego, a main part of your shadow. It can come from an inner child wound, the part of your shadow that was developed in early childhood. It can come from a past life experience, a part of your shadow that you have taken with you for many lifetimes to reaffirm lessons. It's interesting that it's really powerful to work with your shadow because our shadow is a main compass in understanding what our gifts are, a main compass into understanding why we're here. A lot of people who show up in the world fully as their full, authentic, wild self, and are serving and using their gifts and empowering others. These are the type of people who have used their shadow as kind of this standoff point of how they can help others too, going through the inner workings of the shadow and teaching that to others, and standing in and taking back that power by helping to heal it constantly and to tend to it too, right? The shadow is almost like this open wound that we are continuously licking and caring for, because even if we lick it and the wound closes up, there are many things in this life that are unknown and can temporarily tear it apart. So again, the big part of working with the shadow as a constant ally is knowing how we can tend to this wound that we might carry for maybe a few more lifetimes, or something that we're really mending in this lifetime and moving on to possibly a new part of our shadow in the next. So now that you understand a little bit more about the shadow and why it is so important, let's bring in some animal medicine to help you out and get you started. As a wild animal priestess, I take on animal energies to help in my healing processes and my energy work. So one of my favorite animals to bring in for specifically shadow work is the medicine of the snake. When we think of the snake, one of the most fascinating and amazing ways to view a snake is to see it as it sheds its scales or its skin. And this is really what we're doing when we're working with the shadow. As we're tending to the shadow, we are delayering, we are breaking down boundaries and walls that the shadow has put up to protect you from your next level, protecting you from expanding. The shadow is afraid to expand because the shadow is not ready to step into the unknown. But we know as we go along this spiritual path, that is a constant thing we're stepping into. The unknown is trust, and trust is where our intuition and instincts lie, which is our greatest tools and weapons in this lifetime for our power, for our gifts, for our expansion, and to help others. So when you begin to work with your shadow, I welcome you to embrace the medicine of the snake. Think of it as shedding or delayering. Say you were to take yourself to a journaling practice, or to leave it on the yoga mat, or to shed as you walk, maybe outside. That's part of your healing journey, your healing process, something that helps you to self-soothe and allows you to be an observer of your emotions for a minute or so. Embrace this medicine of the snake as you do so. You'll notice this kind of weight begin to fall off of you. You can almost imagine as you're doing these practices the literal layers of skin that you are shedding for this moment in time, and feel how empowering that is. Feel how much that changes how you show up. When we shed our skin, we're able to move a little bit more. We're able to breathe a little bit bigger and not have that old skin kind of restricting us too, right? So snake medicine, so great for shadow work. I hope you take a little bit of this imagery with you as you move forward. If you are curious about working much deeper with your shadow and you really need some one-on-one or group support with your shadow, I do have some amazing offerings at the moment to do so. So feel free to message me, to check out my page, to feel more of my energy, to see if it would feel like a good energetic match to work closer together. For now, that feels pretty complete for this video. If you have any more questions about shadow work or would like even more tips on how to begin, I have a bunch of free resources on my Instagram page. And of course, you know, to go even deeper than this, where to find me so we can connect one-to-one and do some work together. Thank you so much for being here. If you would like to support my work in this channel, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. My question for you is, which part of your shadow are you ready to witness? I'll see you all real soon. Bye.